Hello, I'm Honey.
I'm Minty.
Okay, so first off, we got to start off with a disclaimer. Dad, if somehow you found this,
Don't watch it.
You need to go away. This
isn't
video
for you.
is not for you. You don't need to hear this story, so I will give you a couple minutes to leave this video. That's including you too, stepmom.
Because today's topic is piercings.
Yep, we're going to be talking about our piercing experiences. I have quite a few. I think I have 10. Hold on. 4 years. I have 9 right now.
I'm so inexperienced. I only have the 2 in my ears and then 3 more.
Dude, I completely understand. But yeah, I will start off with a couple of my not so bad ones. Okay, so the first piercing I ever got was my nostril piercing, which is this one right here. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, probably not. But anyways, I was 16 at the time. The promise was with me and my mom is that I was going to be able to get my first piercing, which was my nostril at 16 years old. And that was pretty much like a one and done.
This is all you get.
My mom and my boyfriend were there, or my boyfriend, her boyfriend.
All the boyfriends, actually.
But they were there, and it was like, boop, done. So that one was pretty easy.
Mine hurt when I got mine done, and then it freaking got infected, but...
My eyes watered because it's right there beside
crying.
your eyes.
It's an onion.
But it wasn't too bad. I would, honestly, on the pain scale of 1 to 10, I would have to say it was a 5 for me.
But you're one of those people who are nothing hurts me.
Just wait until we get to the nipple piercing story.
Like she said, Dad, leave.
Yeah. But, yeah, I'll let you tell on yours.
Okay, I'll just start off with my lobes then, basically, because that's the shortest story. So I stretched my lobes myself, and I have been for 6 years, but the only really discernible thing I have to say about it is I went from a size 14 to a size 8, and if anybody knows, that's a no-no. You can rip your lobe.
Shit balls. Do not do that.
And it was very painful, and I was very inexperienced, but...
No shit, it hurt?
Yeah, thankfully, it's perfectly fine to this day, but I was stupid.
You skipped 12, 10. You skipped 3 sizes.
I know. Oh, I'm not saying I was smart. I'm saying that's what I did.
You weren't smart. I'm sorry. I love you, but you were not smart.
I really tried.
Alright. I guess the next piercing we'll go to... I'm not going to skip my lobes because, honestly, nothing really happened with them. I did have stretched ears. I went from a normal standard Claire's piercing up to a 0 gauge, and then I took them out because I was getting a lot of pain with them in the winter because they would peel and yada yada yada. But I'm going to go through that whole entire thing again here soon. But yeah, that's pretty much it with those. But I guess the next one I'll talk about is my septum piercing, which that's what I got next. I was 18 years old at the time, and I went to a piercing studio that was a little bit better than the first one that I went to. I paid $60 US dollars for this piercing, and I went in and I didn't want an 18 gauge that Minty has.
Let me show you my nose.
I wanted this thicker, 14 gauge. I have a gold one in, but yeah, I wanted a thicker one, and the piercer was like, "Are you sure you don't want an 18? Because I would pierce a man with this." I literally looked at him and I was like, "Dude,
girl.
Are you being sexist?" Because I was just playing with him, trying to joke around, but I was like, "No, I want the bigger one." And so he didn't use clamps, which I know you don't have to, but I wanted him to use clamps to make sure
it's more comfortable that way.
Yeah.
It makes it easier.
I mean, it comforts your anxiety that to, and it didn't hurt, but like a week later after I got the piercing, it was crooked, so I had to go back to the studio, and I was in college at the time, and I went back in, and he was like, all right, I'm gonna have to have you lay down for this in case if you pass out.
That's a good sign.
And so he had to go through the original entry point, which was higher up, and then he had to straighten it out and level it, and it hurt pretty bad, but it's nothing compared to the other piercing that I had that I'll talk about after Minty talks about her other story, and then we'll talk about my most painful piercing along with my 2 other piercings I have. Well, 3, but...
Okay, so I'll just tell this simple, like, I had my nostril pierced and my belly button pierced. Just typical stuff. Like, it just went perfectly fine, except for where with both my body rejected them. So that's fun stuff, and it really sucked, and there was lots of pus and grossness. And I kept my belly button in for, like...
What was that?
It was the label off my tea bag. I kept my belly button piercing in for 6 months while my body grew this like skin tag over the piercing, and it was pussing. So sorry if that's TMI. We'll put like a little
disclaimer warning.
But yeah, that's basically it for the last 2 piercings I had, and then I'll talk about my septum when you're done with the next one.
I think the next piercing I got after my septum was my tongue. I have a... Okay, I know I'm already going to get people who be like, oh my god, you're wearing an acrylic ball.
How dare you?
I wear an acrylic ball on my bottom just because I do change it out quite frequently, but I do wear an acrylic ball on my bottom set because I do have a chipped tooth, and I also have some issues with the lower webbing of my tongue, so I have to. I can't wear a metal one on the bottom, just for the safety of my teeth. I care about my teeth more than I do the freaking piercings. But I've had no infection issues, but if you can wear metal balls, if you can wear metal balls, wear them. Don't do acrylic if you don't have to.
But I just want to be like Honey.
Well, too bad. But that one, honestly, I took my now husband with me to go and get it, and it was kind of spur of the moment. I was like, hey, I've always wanted my tongue pierced.
Let's do this
Let's
thing.
do it. I went to the original guy that I went to because I really liked him a lot better at that, and I didn't want to pay $60 for a piercing again, especially whenever the studio really wasn't that good. And I knew this guy was cheaper. I knew he was cheaper, but he was also someone like I trusted, and he did good work. So here's the thing, like, if you're going to a piercer, cheap doesn't always mean that they're bad. So just putting that out there. But yeah, I got it done, and it was pretty simple. I didn't really have any issues with it whatsoever. People were telling me, oh, it's gonna hurt like hell, you're gonna have to go on an all liquid diet. I ate pizza the first day I got this piercing.
Pizza is life.
I ate pizza. So that's pretty much sums it up for my tongue. My tongue was like the easiest healing process, and yeah, I talk normal. I don't have a lisp. So
okay, so I'll talk about my first real piercing that wasn't like my earlobes. And it was this baby, the only piercing that I had to make sure I was in frame. I'm like, oh. The only piercing that I have that like isn't my earlobes. So let me just kind of set the scene for this. 17-year-old Minty here, begging her dad, like, Dad. Oh wait, I was 16.
Oh.
I was about to turn 17. Dad, can I please get my nose pierced? I didn't specify.
What?
Like, I didn't say my nostril, my septum. I'm like, Dad, can I get my nose pierced, please? And it took like 3 weeks of convincing. And he was finally like, yeah, sure, whatever, but you have to figure out all the details and have your mom take you. So I was like, Mr. Minty, like my now husband. I'm like, hey, can you take me to get my nose pierced? And he's like, yeah, what do you want? My septum. And he was going to college at the time, and he was going to school with this girl that he knew that did piercings on the side. Little did I know, they weren't professional. She was not doing this professionally.
She was not certified.
So basically what happened was he picked me up, and we went all the way up to his school, and we waited in the parking lot for like 3 hours for this chick. Like 3 hours. And finally, she came out. She's like, okay, let's do this thing. We sat down on a picnic bench in broad daylight right in front of the school. And she pierced my septum. Right after she did it, I'm like, oh, I feel woozy. And she's like, oh, you're fine. And I'm like, no, I'm going to pass out. And she's like, oh my God, lay down. So here I am just laying on this freaking picnic bench in public, just having people walk past me like, what is this bitch doing? And I'm like, no.
They're probably like, no. You're on drugs or something.
Yeah, for real.
We do not condone you tell your friend to pierce your nose. Like, no.
No. Please don't do that. Like, that's not a good idea. But honestly, like,
so
she
many
was clean
bad
enough.
things can happen. Just look up rejected piercings, and you'll understand why.
But, I mean, honestly, like, she was clean enough. It was the only piercing in my body beside my lobes that didn't reject. So, that was good at least. But that story is pretty crazy.
Yeah. Well, we'll get on to the one where, Dad, I really hope you're not watching this.
Leave. What's your dad's? Oh, wait, no, I can't say his name.
But anyways, so I always wanted my nipples pierced. Yeah, I know.
Gasp!
And no, before anyone says anything, yes, I was with somebody, but it was not for him. It was for me. I'm really, really insecure about the girls. So, I'm glad you find that funny.
The girls!
But yeah, I was really insecure about them. So I was like, well, maybe these will help me boost my confidence. So I went in. It was it was either after Christmas or before Christmas. I don't really remember. It was either in December or January. But anyways, so I went in to the same guy that I always go to and that I really trust him. First off, if you're planning on getting nipple piercings, the first thing you need to know is go in there with a camisole. But what I mean by a camisole is like a tank top with spaghetti straps. Because you're going to have to undress in front of your piercer.
And you don't want to take off your whole shirt.
If you don't like your stomach or anything, he told me like the best thing you could do is wear a tank top. That way you can just pull it down and then take your bra off and you're good. You do want to wear a bra when you go. Is really important, but make it a bra that you don't care about. Okay? I took my mother-in-law and my husband into the back room with this piercer. And I was scared shitless, dude. I was like, this is gonna hurt. I've seen people pass out. Like, I was terrified. So he gets everything ready, and I had to take my bra off, and so on and so forth. So I'm exposed with my mother-in-law behind my left shoulder and my husband.
Like, look at the girls!
And my husband doesn't like needles, guys. He almost fainted whenever he saw this, like, huge needle sticking out of my tongue. But he was going to be there for me. So he gets the needle prepared and everything, and my husband's just like... in the back. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna look up and not look at him. And he puts the needle through the left boob first. And I literally don't feel anything. And he just looks at me like, are you gonna pass out? And I was like, no, what do you mean?
Did you already pierce me?
And he was like, dude, I just pierced you and your heart didn't even skip a beat. And he went to the second one, and I did feel that one a little bit more. It was a little bit more painful. I would say, like, the first one on a pain scale was maybe like a 3. Like, I felt something happening, but it didn't hurt.
With the second one, you're like, you know it's happening, and you know.
The second one, you know it's happening. Yeah. Like, your body already is going through the shock, so, like, the shock is going to be more painful for the second one. But honestly, it wasn't too bad. Now, the healing.
The healing's always fun.
Afterwards, that hurt so bad. And this is where I say, ladies or men, I wouldn't suggest you wear a bra, but if you want to, it does help.
We don't know.
Excuse me. But anyways, the pressure of putting it onto your areola helps so much. It really does help because it stops the throbbing, because it's kind of like you have a throbbing headache in your boobs, and it's really
no
weird.
Immature comments, by the way.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Do you have any more? Because I have one more that I need to cover.
Oh, I guess I have one more.
Oh.
So listen here, everybody. Never pierce yourself. Just saying.
Oh, I did those too, but we're not talking about those.
I almost forgot about this one too. Warning, never pierce yourself, especially with a safety pin.
Oh my god, exactly. I did the same.
So here I am, about 14 years old. And I'm like, I want to pierce something. But it wasn't going to be a face piercing. So guess what fun stuff?
Did you pierce your belly button?
No, dude, listen, this is weird. I don't know why I thought about that. I pierced the web between my thumb and my forefinger. It hurt. I did it with a safety pin. And then I put a diamond earring in it. And I wore it for about a week. And then I got, like, paint in it. And being 14, like, I didn't think to clean it because I was fucking stupid, if you couldn't tell. And it got really infected. Dude. So that was fun.
Okay. So quick side note, that's like whenever I was 14, 15, I just got dental work done, so they had to numb the side of my face. So I was like, I'm going to take this opportunity to pierce my lip.
Yay! Don't do that. No.
Because I could have punctured something really bad, but, you know, I wanted it done. And yeah. But the last piercing story I have is actually a lip piercing, and it was by the same guy, and it was the last piercing that I got. It was the Medusa piercing, or the labret, but it was right here. I don't have it anymore, because I had issues with it. I'm going to set this right there. But anyways, I got it done, and automatically, right off the bat, it was pretty bad because I had a lot of swelling. Also, I have a really thick upper lip. So that didn't help. I think I kept it in for about 4 months, and then I went swimming, lost the ball, and then the stud came out.
I remember I had to give you one of my septum rings to shove in there, and she wore that for like a week, and it looks so painful.
Dude, I have the worst scarring tissue on the inside of my mouth. But luckily, most of it got removed. But yeah, I do plan to get it re-pierced eventually because I really liked it. I'll probably insert a picture somewhere of it.
It looked really good.
It looked bomb.
Here, put it like in between us.
I'll put it over your face again like I did last time.
You can't catch me.
I'll just freeze frame. But yeah, that's pretty much all the piercing stories that I have.
Same.
I mean, one thing that I want done is like this part of your ear where the bar goes through, but I'm terrified to get cartilage piercings because I know they have a high rejection rate.
I want the wedding band dermal that I keep seeing on Pinterest, which probably wouldn't be best for me because I am a pansy, but I want it.
That and you have a kid.
Yeah, true.
And
he'd rip it out probably. So, knowing him.
Catch us next time.
Next time on
whatever show. What is this?
Crazy Horse Eyes.
He's like a parrot.
Oh wait, here we'll zoom in, and that should be like our
goodbye.
Like, comment, subscribe,
but
share.
Also goodbye for now.
Goodbye.